So universal literacy, this is the 1600s. Now I'm looking at the West. You see, in India, there was this war and invasion. And in Europe, what happened? The printing press. The printing press came and literacy became universal. This was around the 1600s. In the 18th, 19th century, what happened? There was the discovery. Christopher Columbus discovered the West Indies. Marco Polo traveled. And he found places in the name of the Queen, in the name of the royalty. And there was at the same time Industrial Revolution happened. So vocational training took importance, and 18th, 19th century, this was time for vocational training. And it was at the same time that behaviorist theories came into existence. So people started saying, how do we know when people learn? We know when their behavior changes. So what influences the behavioral change? That is the behaviorist theory. Then we have the 20th century, first half. Computer education became important because computers came into existence. So by the time it was 50s and 60s, yes, people started learning computers. That became important. So that is called Industrial Revolution 2.0. So even the language is changed to suit computers. The script changed. So people started learning computer in the new script. And it was at this time, a whole lot of learning theories came into existence. We have the humanist approach, we have the cognitive approach. Everything started flooding the educational industry. Then we have the Industrial Revolution 3.0. Why? Because internet came, telecommunications, which means communication was the most important thing. So grammar education became very important. There were several genres of writing, persuasive writing. See, all this developed at this time. And it was at this time that there was a burst of books, actually. So many books. So you can put it all in this little diagram, graphic representation. It went forward. See, behaviorism, then you have the constructivism happened. Then in between you had the cognitivism. After the constructivism, we have the social learning theory, which is Vygotsky's. Then you have connectivism, learning in the digital networks. So this, you can say, is the history of learning. But what happened in India? A brief history. Let's look at this. 1947, there was a big question mark. What are we going to do about our learning? Students, little kids. So they developed this board called Central Board of Secondary Education. There were state boards which already existed. All children used to study in their mother tongue. CBSE came with a lot of English there. So it became very popular. So in the 70s, it started catching up. And then in the 90s, everybody realized that language is a skill, it is not a subject. Therefore, communicate in English became very popular. Then there came a paradigm shift everywhere. The state board also shifted to new ways of learning in the 21st century. So people started realizing how students learn is very important. So the pedagogy is what I mean, I'm coming to. Pedagogy became very, very important all over India. We see the result now. And then the national education policy came where pedagogy is taking primary importance. So that is what happened in India. So approaches to curriculum, if you want to look at that, that is an important point. there is this top-down approach, which was the case early on, before people realized the importance of skills. So what they need to know ultimately is what is important. So accordingly, they would water down the syllabus for grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. So whatever you need to learn in grade 12 or grade 11 or 10 would get watered down. But there were several children who did not really understand what to do. They were not up to it. So in the West, this awareness came. They said we cannot have a top-down approach, we should have a bottom-up approach. So they reversed the entire thing. They said first we will teach grade 1 whatever is age appropriate. So we will build it up like that. But then there were quite a few children who were really smart and they got totally bored in the class. And that's, you can see the result now. The whole curriculum became dilute and you have a bored set of children who have become naughty, they become a discipline problem. So the challenge went missing. Now compare this to what our ancient sages used to do. They blasted the highest philosophy to the little children. You read stories of Dhruva, Nachiketa, Prahalada. The highest philosophy was blasted to them. They did not shy away. Whatever happened to that? That is what I call the trickle-down approach. Don't worry about age appropriacy. Just let them imbibe whatever they can. Don't make it mandatory that they must learn everything. Once you do that, allow it to trickle down through guidance from the teacher, I think it is still possible to bring back that challenge. So that is where I think we can make a difference as teachers. So that is the story of learning. How did you like it?
Great, ma'am.
Evening.
Very clear about I missed a few minutes at the beginning. I think you started with Rigveda, you said.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, you
Yeah.
did miss one.
And it took it down to the sutras and the universities, and I mean, a very, very clear picture about, how education system, the history of pedagogy that you were talking about is so clear.
So I have two
And
questions. Yeah, sorry, please continue.
no, finally, you spoke about trickle-down approach. And yeah, like how it resonates, like what was happening earlier, coming back to what was initially taught by
Yeah.
our own old systems.
Yes, yes, yes. So I have two questions. One is, first of all, do you agree with the perspectives that are presented here?
Yes, ma'am. I was also I don't know, somehow I felt that you would I don't know if you touched upon it earlier before I joined about Socrates or his critical thinking approach.
No, I didn't touch upon it, but yes, it did exist, but
Yeah.
that was before even the printing press was. Yes,
Okay.
did
Yes.
he did exist, but whatever he said was very elitist. It didn't reach the common man.
Yes. It didn't reach the. Yeah, I mean, I always thought, or I always knew that it started from there.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
so,
yes. The
yeah,
Western
maybe
critical thinking starts from Socrates and Aristotle.
yes,
That is
yes,
Socratean kind of questioning way of learning.
yes. A
Socrates.
very
Yes,
intellectual,
yes.
yeah. Maybe they were just focused on moral and values and ethics.
Philosophy, basically.
Yes,
That is the
philosophy,
same
right?
thing with
Yeah.
the Rig Veda and later Vedic periods.
Yes.
They also
Yeah.
focus mainly on philosophy. It was only after that, after Sutra period only, the legal schools
Yes.
also opened up, law became important. Sutra period and
Universities open.
Nalanda and Takshashila.
Takshashila. Yes, ma'am.
That is there.
I think it yeah.
So
It gave a very clear picture. Sorry. You can continue.
no,
Continue.
I want to find out now what methodology did I use? Do you think I used when I wanted to convey this information? What methodology do you think I used? Preeti?
It was a timeline. I felt it was beautifully pictured into a timeline from the beginning till now. So I felt it like then to now. Uh, is there any specific terminology that we have to
Yeah, I mean, what
mention
I
on
attempted
that?
to do was basically convert it to a kind of a story.
Katha, you use the
Yes.
Katha Upanishad method?
No, well, I did not exactly go into the methods that I presented, but I just tried to convey it like a story with
Story, yeah.
with some visuals there.
Story, yes.
Make it like a storyline, a chronological storyline.
Yes.
Hmm. That is what I was attempting. So perhaps, do you think that
Yes, ma'am. That is
did that make it interesting rather than a drab set of facts, a boring set of
actually, yes.
Definitely,
I could
yes, ma'am.
easily see the flow. It was very clear. The flow was very clear. And as it started as a story, I could easily relate to what I have known already, and I could easily relate to the facts also easily.
Okay. So that is what I wanted to get it at, because this is one methodology I think we all kind of neglect, where you
The
can
story.
convey it like a story.
Hmm.
You can teach boring subjects in the form of a story. All you need is maybe a flow, a specific kind of flow, and some visuals. Then the whole thing
Yeah,
becomes.
it is basically easy to remember and recollect, ma'am. So now, even without notes or anything, so we know where we started and gradually how we ended and what is it. Since the story narration style is adopted with a chronology in place and visuals were there, so it was easy to, like recollect
Yes.
and flow with the flow. What is next?
So this is one methodology I wanted to highlight. And of course, the main important facts, the whole idea is I need to convey that this information as to what exactly happened and what we can. So thank you so much for attending this session. I mean, it ended earlier than what I expected.